right. Well, ladies and our ally gentlemen, we are live. We are so incredibly excited for this edition of the Liberation Lounge because this is where we have real talk with real women. And for all of our listeners, if this is your first time joining us, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. We are super excited to have you. All of these episodes do stream to YouTube. And so you will see this episode drop here very soon. We're really excited for all of you that are joining us live on Facebook. Whether you are here for the first time or if you are returning, let us know in the chat, okay? We are super excited to have all of you. And this is a really special episode. I've been trying to get this woman on for several months. And finally, our schedules were able to synchronize. And I know some of you were like, where did April go? She's been off for a couple months. It's because April's got a lot going on right now, even outside of the Liberation Lounge. Really, really exciting stuff. More to come on that. But without further ado, I am so honored to have a woman on the Liberation Lounge tonight that I have so much respect for. Yes, she is my beautiful cousin. Okay. So that's like bonus. But she's someone that I have always admired for the journey that she has taken and the choices that she has made and how she has continued to live an abundant life despite all types of challenges and ups and downs and the roller coasters that we all go through. We are not unique when it comes to that, right? But it's the way by which we continue to show up in life for others is what really makes the difference. I love what my good friend said to me one time. She said, you know what? You can take the challenges in life and you can either come better or you can become bitter. And this is a woman who has truly become better. So without further ado, please help me welcome to the Liberation Lounge my dear cousin all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, none other than Miss Nicole Michelle. Nicole, how are you
Hi,
tonight?
April Joy. I'm wonderful, and I'm so happy to be here. Like you said, finally, our schedules are,
Yes.
and it's been a long time coming, and it's good. It's a good thing.
Yes, it is good. It is good. And so we are so excited to have you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule in order to just share with our listeners your life choices and how that has led you into a greater state of liberation. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So, just by way of background, we always like to start with introduction for people, obviously, who may not know you. If you can just let everybody know a little bit about you, your background, kind of what you do, and we'll just get started right there.
Absolutely. Okay, so basically, just starting off early in life, just being so fascinated with beauty, right?
Mhm.
Whether it be cosmetics or whether it be something that I make with my hands,
Yeah,
crafting, I'm always looking for something that I can do or create or make better. I'm still
yes,
that person. I've always
yeah.
been that person. So, what I did was take that into my career. I did start off early in life as a model.
Hmm.
Modeling was something that came to me. I really didn't seek it out.
Hmm.
I think I was discovered on the basketball court in high school. That being said, that was a form of expression of beauty that I was allowed to do. I went into the cosmetics industry where I stayed for approximately 25 years
Hmm.
and still do makeup
Yeah.
artists, private clients, and some new clients. I
Nice.
also have become a loctician. I fell in love with locking hair. Didn't even realize it was a talent and a skill. You do get certified, but it
Mhm.
has to be something you love to
Yeah.
actually grow hair. And I have a few hobbies that have also become businesses. I
Mhm.
am an avid DIYer, so I'm an advocate for anyone who does anything on their own for themselves. I
Yeah.
didn't do this, I made it. I didn't purchase this, I grew it, I
Mhm.
cook, things like that. So I make body products, I make candles,
Mhm.
and I am a fragrance enthusiast. So all of that.
Ah, I just love the even just the name of that. It's just like a fragrance enthusiast. Like that is so beautiful. So you have had quite the journey. And that's what I really want to get into tonight. And so you've lived all these different chapters, right? So from professional modeling and doing the runway thing, probably doing some print, maybe perhaps as well, makeup artist, small business owner, loctician. How do you, in this stage, right, who you are today, how do you really define liberation in your life right now? How are you living a liberated life?
Absolutely. So, the way I define liberation for myself, and I just love that we can all define that for ourselves.
Yes.
We don't have to look at, the way someone else does it. It's great to see it, but for myself, I define it as self-care.
Mm,
I didn't even learn fully to care for myself until I started caregiving for my mother. I
mm,
I thought I was doing self-care, but
mhm,
that's going to be my number one definition for anyone because I think we misunderstand what self-care is.
mhm.
Actually, what we do for ourselves. So yes, I
Yeah.
went and got my nails done today, but that was
Yep.
not self-care. That was
Right.
that's maintenance, right?
Mhm,
I have clients that come and get their locks retightened. That's
mhm,
still maintenance. It's not self-care. So,
mm,
what I do for myself, whether it's drawing a bath in the morning
mhm,
or cooking my own meal, right? Going for a walk. These are things I physically did for myself. I didn't want
mhm.
anyone to do it for me,
Yep.
ask anyone to help me. I cared enough for myself to do those things. And it's so liberating to do that. And you show up so much better for anything else you have to do outside of that. You're just going to show up better, whether it's helping someone else or even just physically having to have the energy to do something else. If you don't care for yourself first, nothing else is going to go well. It's not going to feel well. You're not going to be fulfilled in it. As much as you might love it, you're more fulfilled if you cared for yourself first. Yeah.
I
So,
love your definition because you're right. So many people look at like, oh, I'm gonna go get a massage or I'm gonna go, do whatever, right? I'm gonna go get a facial. I'm gonna whatever. And again, there's nothing wrong with that stuff.
you're
But I
amazing.
yes, but I love your definition. It's something that you are doing for yourself. Like I'm big on in home on a like Saturday afternoon, turn all my devices off, do my own facial,
Yes.
right? Like
Right.
really get deep into like my skincare routine, right? And really take the time to do all the other things that I may not get a chance to do because I'm rushing here, meeting, work, all that other stuff. But on Saturday mornings, and I mean like early, like I'll get up like 5, 6 o'clock, and I
Mhm.
just love to just have that quiet time. Nobody's up yet, right? The world is still asleep. And to have that time to really take care of April.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. Hey,
Yes. So I love that definition.
yeah, that 5 a.m. club, there's something to be said about that as well.
Yes.
Best time to care for yourself because no one else quite needs you yet.
Exactly. Exactly. By the way, ladies and gents, D&D, do not disturb. We all need to be utilizing that so much more frequently. Like I was getting a phone call from my brother earlier and I was on do not disturb. And so I just happened to check my phone and I just texted him back and I said, "Hey, I'm on D&D for the next 90 minutes because I've got some things that I need to do for me." One of which included a nap,
That's good.
right?
That's good. That's self-care. That's your nap.
It is. My nap is self-care. So I absolutely love, love, love that. So I'd love to talk a little bit about relationships because you and I have had conversations around this when we got together.
Absolutely.
Um, there's this thing when it comes to relationships where I feel like, especially as women, we we often stay too long, right?
Right.
Um, Women can be very self-sacrificing we will often put the needs of others, and this is again not new news to any woman, but we often will put the needs of others before our own needs. I went to an event recently. I talked about this on a recent episode where it was a group of women from three generations: millennials, Gen X's, Gen Z's, and boomers, four generations. Okay. So a friend of mine brought these women together at her condo. It was an amazing event and it was so powerful. So I'm, 46. There was another woman there that was almost 60. And she said that she had not learned boundaries until she was in her 50s. And I had shared with her, I said, "Oh my gosh," we both were kind of like tearing up because many of us do not learn boundaries until much later in
Right.
life, right? And so I'd love to talk a little bit about these societal pressures that we experience and the culture in which we live in, at least here in Western civilization, the culture in which we live in that says, you've got to do this by this time, you've got to be married, you've got to have these kids, you've got to live in this kind of house, you should be, traveling with your family 3 times a year, whatever, all that stuff, right? What gave you the courage to really walk away from things, relationships, whatever, that was not serving you? So what was that thing that happened, or was there something that just clicked inside of you where you said, "You know what? I've really got to do what's best for me ultimately."
Right, right. So, it's wonderful to know about boundaries, but it's amazing to actually utilize them, you know,
Yes.
outline them, be able to communicate them in a way that is meaningful to you and no one else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a boundary often sounds like a curse word to people,
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to deliver them. How dare you, you know?
Yes.
When you're actually teaching them how to love you. And um, I think that's why a lot of us don't learn the boundaries till later because we even believe that as well. That
Yes.
we're drawing a line in the sand and making someone, we're pushing someone back, but that's not the case. And it probably just, comes from, it definitely comes from miseducation about boundaries. So
Mm-hmm.
having boundaries in place helped me walk away from some things, but
Yeah.
it didn't keep me from staying in different things for too long. Um,
Mm.
there's a point in your life where you do all these things, like you said, by this certain time. And
Yep.
if you don't do it by this certain time, sometimes you'll see something and say, "Well, oh, I better do it because
Yep.
it's here now. It's not
Yep.
too late." And then you end up doing multiple things, maybe staying at a job too long,
Yep.
maybe staying in a relationship too long,
Mhm.
maybe even getting into something you should never have even been in
Yep.
because it looks like I should be doing this by now.
Yep.
So, when it comes to love and relationships, I like to think of it sometimes as we have Cupid. You're like, we have arrows.
Yeah.
Don't you know you can misfire an arrow?
Totally can misfire.
It is never guaranteed that you're going to hit that bullseye, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
However
Yeah.
many arrows you have, that's up to you.
Mhm.
You can put your arrows away or you can keep firing them. You can do what you want. However, if you misfired, you have to be honest with yourself, you
Yeah.
know? Um, and there's two places you can be in a relationship. I'm not an advocate for divorce, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes that's a bump in the
Yeah.
road for some of our journeys.
Yeah.
Divorce, um, and then marriage, that's a personal choice as well.
It
Um,
is.
one of them is going to be due to suffering, and the other
Yeah.
one is going to be due to long suffering. There's
Yeah.
long suffering in a relationship.
There is.
Very important that we know the difference.
Mhm.
Suffering is anguish, is pain, and
Yes.
like negative and almost like you're a victim. you know?
Yeah,
And long suffering, that's something that has to be done sometimes,
it
on
does.
a job that might be going sour, but doesn't mean leave, a marriage that might be stagnated, but it doesn't mean leave. Long suffering is you have faith, in the outcome,
Mm-hmm.
and you're taking something on because you're being patient, you know.
Yep.
You're strong, right?
Mm-hmm.
Suffering is the opposite. You're weak,
Yeah.
and you know that it's destroying you. And
Yep.
you look in the mirror and you're not even who you were when you started that relationship or that job or whatever it is that you need to get out of. You might even have a person, a friend, a family member who is a mirror telling you,
Mm-hmm.
you got to get out of there. You're not the same. Your health might even be declining because of it.
Yep.
So, when it comes to relationships, and knowing when it's suffering or long suffering, that's personal. But most of the time we
We
know
do.
anyone else does,
Yep.
because we have a way of hiding it, based on, I think I need to suffer a little longer just to see if
Yeah.
it's long suffering. um,
Yep.
but we definitely have to look in the mirror. We have to look at our health. We have to look at our past and our present and our future, and see, how is this lining up with what we said this was going to be, whether it's
Yeah.
something that was never right in the first place or something
Mm-hmm.
sour. We have to be able to look in the mirror and tell ourselves, who am I? Who have I become
Yep.
in suffering? Am I even walking in my purpose anymore? Am I even a productive citizen anymore?
Yep.
Can I help anyone else, or am I declining? So
Yep.
all of those questions, I had to ask myself, and I did have some support around me, checking back on those answers
Yep.
to see if I could figure that out for myself. And yeah, I mean, I left a job after 23 years, left on good terms, but I was able to say, hey, it's time to go,
Time
because
to go.
you've gotten too much out of me, and
Yep.
I have so much that I want to DIY, do for
Yep.
myself.
Yep.
And same thing with marriage.
Yep.
Sometimes that happens. It's not the preferred outcome for anyone. It never
Yep.
is.
Yep.
You don't go through that process to want to end it. However, there's lives that need to be lived, and it has to still be a viable situation so that you can be productive.
I have never heard anyone describe that difference of suffering and long suffering. But that is a very important distinction that, and it, like you said, it's a choice, right? Like, okay, is this suffering or is this long suffering? And it's so important that we have an objective look at the situation and say, okay, am I suffering or am I long suffering for some other outcome,
Yeah, the greater good.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's good. That's really good. I've never really heard it described that way, but I think that's a really important distinction. Like that's so sticky. That's one of those things that's kind of be stuck in my brain. And I
yeah,
think it's a good litmus test for all of us when we're in situations where we're like, okay, does this make sense for me anymore?
absolutely.
Right? Like you said, because lives do need to continue to be lived. So for those of you that are watching, let us know in the comments if you feel like you're in a suffering or a long suffering situation, because I think this conversation is really going to help us look at these situations more objectively to make a better decision about what direction we really need to go. So I really, really love that. So let's talk a little bit about caregiving, because you
Yeah.
know that I have walked this walk. as
Absolutely.
well. And you are walking this walk. It is, I've always described it as one of the hardest things, yet most joyous experiences at the same time, right? To be able to care for the people that have cared for us. And so, talk a little bit about what you've learned and experienced through that journey and how you have continued to live abundantly, fully, um, and how you've been able to kind of balance that self-care even while you're taking care of your loved one.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the thing about caregiving is, I think we all know that it's coming at some point.
Yes.
There's a saying that you'll either be a caregiver or need a caregiver.
Yep.
Um, it's going to affect you at some point. However, when the time comes, um, if you don't have a village and it, is going to fall directly on you, you have to be prepared.
Yes.
And no one really knows what that preparation looks like. So
Sure.
the best preparation is the one you do in your mind first, because everyone
Hmm.
can do that. It's like one day I'm going to have to care for my parent,
Yep.
or or what if I have to care for even someone else? Because it's not always
Hmm.
the form of a parent. It could be a child, it could be a spouse, something like
Yep.
that. So when the caregiving came to me in my lap, it came to me as not only the oldest child, but it
Hmm.
also came to me as this is my personality type. I'm a caregiver. I cared for younger siblings. I've been in management more than half my life, caring for 15, 20 makeup artists.
Hmm.
Just, being that person, I felt like it naturally just fell in my lap.
Hmm.
Um, when I started the journey of caregiving, it was sweet.
Hmm.
It was so such a loving experience.
Hmm.
But things happen,
Yeah.
the decline,
Yeah.
um, where you're still working.
Hmm.
I didn't retire. I kind of retired, but I kind of didn't because
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
doing things on my own. So what I learned was I could not be efficient or loving in
Hmm.
that caregiving unless I cared for myself first. And this wasn't just this isn't just me, like I mentioned, taking my
Yeah.
bath and cooking my food.
Yeah.
Now mental.
Yeah.
So I'm caring for my mind.
Hmm.
Anything that I had not taken care of slapped me in the face when I
Hmm.
had to care for my mother.
Hmm.
Because now you're looking at, I have to split who I am into two. And if I don't do it properly, there's not going to be anyone to care for me or her.
Hmm.
I'd be flat
Hmm.
out on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah. So this included me eating properly.
Hmm.
I've been vegetarian and plant-based for quite some time.
Yep.
However, everyone knows that a plant-based person can still be a processed food person.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's an energy zapper.
Yeah.
So as I cared for her, I cared for myself.
Hmm.
As I meal prepped for her, I meal
Hmm.
prepped for me.
Hmm.
Sometimes I mixed it up and I ate, I'm feeding her and I'm like, "Whoop, whose fork? What because you're literally, if I'm eating, it's like, some people have children. If I'm
Yeah.
eating, you're eating. If you're napping, I'm napping, if
Yeah.
that's realistic.
Yeah.
But so your nourishment, I learned to nourish myself first, nourish myself well, because
Hmm.
my days are long. I got to the point where I was literally sleeping only 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
20 hours. This is when I said this is 24-hour care.
Yep.
Caregiving is 24-hour care because now you're even sleeping light. And if
Yep.
you're like me and you have a nanny cam, you're
Yep.
you're not really sleeping. You might make
Yep.
it to REM sleep at best.
Yep.
And then you feel that the next day. So that was the next thing I had to do. I had to
Yep.
get the circadian rhythm right. I had
Yep.
to figure this out.
Yep.
Um, I had to make a bedtime with, like you say, a D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Do not disturb me. I do
Yep.
not care. I do not care if, yes, it's summer and it's still light out, but I'm going to bed
Yep.
at 9 o'clock.
Right.
I'm going to bed at 9 o'clock because not only do I get up at 5,
Yep.
I might have to get up at 2 or 3 because
Yeah.
I hear distress,
Yes.
you
Yep.
know, as I'm a caregiver.
Yep.
So being prepared for the unexpected
Mm-hmm.
and you know, even taking myself outside for a walk to get fresh air. I would look up and it'd been 4 days I hadn't even been outside
Wow.
because I'm
Yep.
giving and I don't have anyone to stand in right now. So what do I
Yep.
do? You know,
Yep.
can I get on this nanny cam and she's taking a nap and I go for a walk? I sure can. I
Mm-hmm.
can. I can do that. So it's rearranging your life in a way that you find out what it is that you can do. And I kind of compare it to having a child, but the way I can tell people how it's different is when you're caregiving for an aging parent or a terminally ill person, there's you're not teaching them anything. They're not learning anything.
Yep.
There's no light at the end of the tunnel that this person is going to start walking. This person is going
Mm-hmm.
to start feeding themselves. This person is going to get out of diapers.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Yes.
It's a major difference because
Mm-hmm.
this is a declining soul. This is a
Mm-hmm.
declining loved one, and your goal is simply to keep them comfortable.
Yep.
Keep them comfortable, and that's, every pretty much everything they need, you're providing. So just learning to balance myself as I care for her, but caring for someone else will show you how you're not caring for yourself. It really
Big
will.
time.
Because it's like, oh, let me brush your teeth. Oh, shoot, I haven't brushed my teeth yet.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
Oh, let me feed. Oh, it's your lunchtime. Oh my goodness, I didn't even have my breakfast yet, and I'm on
Yep.
your lunchtime. So it's a mirror, um, as well when you're caregiving, to look back and be like, now I have the ability to care for myself, so that I can care for her better,
Mm-hmm.
and so that there's someone here to care for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. So good, Nicole. So good. That was a hard lesson
yeah.
for me, and I think it's a hard lesson for many, right?
Mhm.
Um, I always tell folks that, 4 years ago, I did not have this much gray hair, you know? Um, and I had to learn, and it took a while, right? It took a while for me to really understand, like, okay, I've got to get out of the house,
Yeah.
right? I have to get out of the house, even if it's just for 2 hours, right?
Mhm.
I've got to get out of the house. And so I think that's really, really key. There's a lot of wisdom in that, is taking the time to really ensure. And honestly, I didn't even get it really
Mhm.
until I started taking my caregiver class.
Oh, yeah.
And when I took the caregiver class through, we had a nonprofit here, and they offered these classes for free. So I'm taking the caregiver class, and I will never forget, it was like on the second session, the facilitator said, um, over 70% of caregivers pass away before the care recipient.
Absolutely.
And my eyes went,
What?
and it's because oftentimes the caregivers are not taking care of themselves, and then that really leaves the care recipient in a bind, obviously, because now that primary person who was there doing the heavy lifting is gone.
Right.
And so she really stressed early on the importance of taking care of yourself. And you know, and it's true, like and this is kind of a female thing. We like to think we can get it all done. It's like, "Oh no, I got it. I got it. I got it." And she said you'd be shocked how many times people would actually want to help, even if it was just like, "Hey, let me go get the groceries today." Or, "Yeah, let me watch mom or dad for an hour." And she's
Mhm.
like, "You'd be shocked to see and really understand how many times caregivers will be like, no, 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 I got it,
So true.
right? And it's like wearing this badge, right? This proverbial badge of I can get it all done,
Right.
right? And I had to really learn to accept help, ask for help, and not feel bad about it,
Mhm.
right? And it's so key. It's so key because we all are going to be in this scenario. Either someone's going to be taking care of us or we're going to be taking care of someone else or both,
Right.
right? At some given time in our lives. And just understanding the importance of that self care is so, so key. So let's kind of wrap up with a fun topic about travel because
Okay.
I love seeing your travels.
Yes.
And so I know that that is a way for you to and I'll share a little bit about what it's done for me, but to explore, to rejuvenate,
Right.
right? So how do you see travel as an act of liberation? How has it shaped your outlook? How has it rejuvenated you? How has it supported you in your life, but also now?
Right. So travel, yes, it's a rejuvenation,
Mhm.
especially if you do it right, because everyone knows you can come back from a vacation needing a vacation if you don't do
Exhausted, right?
it right. So you have to plan some sleepcation into your vacation,
Yes.
you know. But as far as when travel calls me, it is typically too late. So
Mm,
now I schedule it. I
yeah.
I don't need a vacation. No one hears
Hmm.
me saying that anymore.
Yeah.
People hear me saying is, "Oh, I'll be gone during that time," and they're like,
Mhm.
"That's 5 months from now." What? Yeah, it's scheduled. It's already
It's on
scheduled.
the calendar.
Yeah, it's on the calendar. In April, I tell you, I will block the time out whether I know where I'm going yet or not. The
Yeah.
time is blocked out. So, what travel does for me is it removes me from my environment
Hmm.
so that I can live this abundant life that God gave me
Yes.
away from my chores,
Yeah.
away from, because if I'm in my house, I am doing.
Hmm.
There's never, who has a to-do list that's ever done? It's
Yeah.
not. At the bottom of my to-do list, it says, look at the other to-do lists.
Yeah.
You're done with this one.
Mhm.
So travel allows me to, in my mind, while I'm sitting here, I can think of an escape. And when I am there, I have escaped,
Yes.
whether it's to the ocean, which that
Hmm.
calls me more than anything,
Hmm.
or whether it's a destination that is a retreat,
Hmm.
it never was intended for anything but rest,
Hmm.
or whether it was something, that did come up as a surprise. And that's new for me because I'm a planner. So I'm not very
Hmm.
spontaneous. I like to plan everything out. And I did go on a surprise trip this year and I liked it. I liked it, kind of. Because the level of my spontaneity is I plan to be spontaneous, if you know what I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
Plan on it. But when I'm away, pretty much the moment I close my suitcase and set it by the door, I'm
Hmm.
gone. I'm checked out.
Hmm.
And everyone looks at travel, differently. But for me, it's freedom.
Hmm.
It is a mental. vacation from the mundane,
Mm-hmm.
and it is exploration and adventure. So,
Mm-hmm.
I can be in the United States, or I can be at the W downtown,
Yep.
because my staycation is typically not in my house. If it is, it's
Yep.
just partial.
Yeah.
Because again, I have to get away. But um, you planning your own vacation and going somewhere is also a form of self-care, because you're
Mm-hmm.
allowing yourself to escape the normal things that you always do. And in that time, rejuvenate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I still get up at 5 a.m. on vacation.
Yep.
I ain't staying up all day,
Right.
but I like to see the sun come up,
Yep.
meditate and pray, and everything is the same in that respect. However, I have found freedom from my normal, freedom from the mundane, and
Mm-hmm.
I've given myself a mental and physical break from what my mind and body feels as normal.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think people often underestimate what happens in your brain when you're in a different time zone. So, and I really experience this like when I need like a new spark of creativity, I'm like, I got to get in a new time zone, even if it's just one time zone over, right? Like I went to Tennessee and stayed in an Airbnb just last weekend. And that was enough to spark some new creativity. And
Mhm.
so people have to understand that when you move about wherever you're going, sometimes it's just, oh, I always go to this coffee shop on the east side of town. I'm going to go to this coffee shop on the west side of town because you've taken a different route and you are in a now a new environment. Your brain gets rewired differently.
Mhm.
And we can't underestimate that being in a new time zone or just a different environment, your brain recognizes that. Like this is like a real thing.
Right.
Okay. And there's so much power behind that. Yes, you come back rested. Yes, you come back rejuvenated, but there's often clarity that comes that would not come if you stayed in your existing environment. And
Right.
so whenever I feel like I'm like, okay, I'm in a place where either I need some new creativity or I need some clarity about some direction in my life, I'm like, you know what? I got to get away, even if it's just for 2, 3 days, right?
Right.
But there's so much power in that we can never underestimate. So we're not saying you got to take a $10,000 vacation, may not be in the budget. What we are saying is change your surroundings,
Change your surroundings. Yeah.
right?
It can be a road trip. It doesn't even have to involve a plane ticket or a car.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah, you're so right with the ideas, the creativity, um, the change of space.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. It
that's
makes a huge difference.
yeah,
Huge difference.
it does.
Really. So this has been so amazing. I feel like there are so many more things that we could talk about. Um, but we both have early bedtime.
Absolutely.
I watched a guy on YouTube the other day. He said he was talking about just health, wellness, and and sleep. And he said, you know what? I am a sleep athlete.
That's good.
And I
Good.
was like, you know what? Once I hit 45, 46, I became a sleep athlete. Like I am serious
Yeah,
about sleep,
yeah,
right? And especially if you're, like people don't even have to even understand that sleep even helps you regulate your hormones. It helps you to lose weight. You
yeah.
could be eating right, working out, doing your walking, strength training, and if you're not getting enough sleep, the body doesn't have enough time to repair. So that's